Welcome back, Rage Nation. Got myself Pete here.
That's not really exciting.
We got Senior Dixon.
I don't think that's appropriate.
And we got Monsieur Leopard.
Explorers deserved it. No.
Absolutely.
I was disgusted. I cannot believe they've done this.
Why is wacky? Why is that good? It's just nonsense.
I disagree on that. That's not possible.
We're getting the band back together. We're on a mission. Yeah.
Now we've got a whole new list of things to complain about.
Welcome back, Rage Nation. We are at it again. Got myself Pete here. And of course, with me, we got Senior Dixon. Back at it again together. Good job last week, Dixon. That was a sweet episode.
Thank you. If it wasn't for Beard, I don't think I would have been able to do it, though.
I feel like Beard was just presenting like a TED talk to you, and you just kind of were like, question?
Well, I didn't want it to be like talking, to a tech talk. I wanted it to be more of a conversation back and forth. So that's why I kind of interrupted every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you've played enough with Lucius that you kind of know some of the probing questions that you might have on interactions and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm still very curious as to how he's going to play the investigators, because I think that they're bad. The only good things that they have is, like, they're 6 points. If you want to have a scheme runner that has a semi-leap, that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and what we're going to talk about today is we're doing our Let's Fix It episode, but this time we're doing 10 Thunders. And 10 Thunders don't need any models fixed, so that's it. And until next time, flip cards and flip tables. We will see you all later.
Lies? Oh, lies!
Now, that being said, I mean, 10 Thunders are in a pretty good spot, but every faction has a handful of models that definitely never see play, and I think you'd agree with, even with 10 Thunders, that's true, Dixon.
Yeah, the thing is that 10 Thunders highs are so high that it makes people forget that they have a bottom.
Yeah.
Because, like, you look at a Charm Warder, and it's just like, how is this such unfair model? Because I would not be surprised if that model ever get nerfed. That's how unfair of a model that model is.
Yeah, when it's good, it's good for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but before we get into that, make sure that you guys are checking us out with all our content. You can do that by going to our Discord channel. We always have people chatting away throughout all time zones of the world. And you can ask questions of your favorite keywords and models. And good times on that Discord. We also have reached a nice milestone, Dixon, with our YouTube channel.
Sweet.
So now with the YouTube channel, when we do live streams or we put videos and stuff out, I know people have heard me say that I don't want to be demonetized, but we are actually monetized now. So we can really get demonetized. And so I'm actually testing that out tonight. I'm going to do a live stream and it's going to be 10 o'clock Eastern time. And if you're on there and you want to mess around with some of the features that entails, you can definitely do that. I think there's stuff like super chats and super stickers, whatever the kids are using these days. I don't know what they do, but you have the option to use them now. And it's going to be fun. I'm going to mess around with it and see what it is.
That is something that I'm kind of sad. Whatchamacallit? Not sad. It's like a happy cry.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, we did it. We did it, guys.
We reached it. We're a real channel now.
We are the champions.
I think what put it over the edge is when we did the errata stream. We had a lot of interaction on that. And I think we were pretty much on the brink there. And I think that kind of kicked us over. So happy to do that, because if you all like it and the interaction's good enough, I mean, it basically could be another version of Patreon for us, which is awesome to help the channel, sustain itself.
Oh, yeah.
Which really, anybody that does Malifaux content, we're not like 40K. Nobody's making money off of Malifaux. That's like, we're just nowhere near making money on this thing. It's like by the time I got to pay all my subscriptions and then, time spent on this stuff. It's like there's no way it's making money, but
We are doing it for the love for the
the
community. Come on
love,
now.
but my wife does appreciate anybody who supports because it's a little less off of my pocketbook, which is always good.
So, listeners, thank you. Do it for Rena. Just do it for
Do it for Pete's marriage.
Rena.
And if you really want to support Pete's marriage, you can also support us on patreon.com/ragequitwire. You can support us. You get content early. Usually we do live chats while we're recording. However, Squadcast being dumb today. So patrons didn't get to hop in today, which is sad. But you also get content early. We put out special just written battle reports for patrons. So you guys get to enjoy that kind of stuff. Random polls. We give out things like stickers. So good news for Australian people that are patrons. I am going to send some stickers to Australia for a couple of my Australian buddies to divvy out to people. So if you're one of those Australia peeps, get excited for that.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's about it. So Dixon, 10 Thunders, pretty good spot right now. I think you'd agree.
Yeah, for sure.
You've been playing the Oni. How are you finding Oni so far?
They are nuts. I just had a game where I have no idea how I won, but I won. It was corner deployment, cloak and dagger against Nelly too, and we denied each other so much. The game
low
ended
scoring game.
Yeah, it was 4-3. That was, I don't even know.
Grindy.
Oh yeah! Shout outs to my opponent, Ben. Thank you for the game. Holy crap!
I think Ben plays. I think he's in the Nebraska meta, if I remember right. So he's a Midwest guy. So he's definitely always chatting and talking about tech and stuff. So he knows what he's doing.
Oh, he knows his guild. He for sure knows his guild.
So those that didn't catch us when we did the Bayou one, we did Bayou first, but now we're descending in order alphabetically. So that, of course, puts us with 10 Thunders. And next time we do this, it'll be Rezzers. So, Dixon, the game goes that you pick 5 models in the faction that you think need fixed.
Yep.
And we share one at a time what we think and just kind of talk about it. So, I'll let you go first, Dixon. What's one 10 Thunders model that you believe needs to be buffed?
Again,
sorry, and I did forget to mention this, and I think Dixon, you're going in the same spot. Being buffed doesn't mean right now that it's necessarily unplayable. It means maybe like it's not seeing enough play, so we want it to get buffed so it sees the table more. Maybe it's been outpaced by all these releases. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's a trash model. It could be. But it also means maybe we just want it buffed so it actually sees table time.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Because like my first pick was gonna be a model that I just want to see on the table more because they look cool, and that's the crime boss, the Katanata crime boss.
I keep forgetting this is a model, and
Yeah,
it's funny because whenever you see a 10 Thunder player start playing Masaki, they always put the crime bosses on the table. But after a handful of games, you don't see them anymore.
yeah. It's. I mean, my opinion, he just needs armor so that he can survive long enough to do his job. Because basically, it has a mini leap. It has a great damage track of 3-4-5 with 2 ridiculously good triggers. Because that tome trigger can actually win games if you actually do it at the right time. But the problem with it is just not survivable. Like this thing gets shot off the table or beat up in combat like nobody's business.
Yeah, I also think a problem with this model is it only has a 4-inch move. And I don't understand why it only has a 4-inch move.
I mean, it has a leap. I would give it, if it's just to give it a +1 armor, then I would be perfectly fine with it having a 4-inch move. But like the fact that it has a 4-inch move and it also doesn't survive, it's like, what is happening here? What's going on?
Yeah, it needs a little something to kind of keep it to keep them on the board. I mean, it has laugh off, which is great. Extended reach, which is great. Protected money can be really good, especially in this gaining grounds. Charge through is amazing. The melee attack seems really good.
Yeah.
But you're right. Whenever I've seen this on the board, they just get smoked down super easy.
Yeah, two shots basically, especially if you're playing against Guild. Guild would just be like one focus shot, take like 4 to 6 damage, and then one min damage after that, and you're done. And literally, I think if you just give it armor, one armor, just armor one, that's it.
What about
Like,
if you gave it like hard to kill?
I don't think hard to kill. I think hard to kill is a little bit too much of a meme. I think armor one or grit, something that reduces damage, kind of like the performer.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the idea is just to make it so that at least it suffers one more attack. It doesn't die in one activation from a beater.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of my first pick's gonna go in a very similar vein as to your Katanaka crime boss. I I just want to see this on the table more. And I think in the beginning of Gaining Grounds, I think 0 and 1, we saw this model a little bit, but it's just really been outpaced and it's really kind of in the same spot as the crime boss. And I think that's the Kabuki warrior. Um,
Really
yeah, I
interesting.
mean, distraction's super good because, negative to willpower. There's a lot of cool combos in the faction with that.
Yeah.
But the problem I find with the Kabuki warrior is that it just dies, right? Because it has combat finesse, but there's a lot of stuff out there that just doesn't care. Plus,
Hmm.
you're only defense 5. So that really kind of sometimes combat finesse just doesn't matter with that.
Although, okay, so quick thing. The reason why I was like surprised, I always see this model with the stealth upgrade, so I forgot that he doesn't have stealth base. So
Yeah.
you are onto something. I apologize.
Yeah. And, it has a great sword. So the great sword's always good. It has a lure, which you're not really ever seeing. New Horizon, it's not suited. So that's a weird bonus because if you don't just have a tome, then he has no bonus essentially. Um,
Yeah.
and if you put an upgrade on this dude and you're making him cost 10 soul stones, I think that's not good, even though you have stealth. I just think that's bad news bears, man.
Yeah, I have seen it at least at that point cost. It actually does work when played well. The
Well,
problem is,
that's what I'm saying. It can work,
yeah.
but it doesn't usually.
Oh, I don't just. I mean, I'm agreeing with you. I literally, it's like it's 10 points for a model that is doing the output of an 8 point model. The diversion aura is like the big reason why people bring it. To be perfectly honest, so the distraction aura.
Well,
Sorry.
because keep in mind, I mean, and this is the problem with 10 Thunders, I think, right?
Yeah,
Is for 8 soul stones, you could bring Fuhatsu.
yeah,
Or,
and you're bringing this for 10. So it's like,
yeah,
do you really want to bring a 10 point minion that can die still? Within 6 inches of it, or do you just want to bring Fuhatsu, who has a 14 inch? Is it 14 or 12? It's like absurdly
it's a
long
12-inch
range
Gatling gun.
with a 246
And he's hard to wound
damage.
with armor 1 and laugh off.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. And yeah, again, I love the fact that Fuhatsu is an enforcer because he definitely should be better than another 8 point model.
Yeah.
But to help the Kabuki warrior, what would you give him then?
So I think, and don't get me wrong, I don't think it's too far off.
Mm-hmm.
I think something kind of like the what is it, the Benraku? What's the little puppet samurai dudes?
Yeah, Bunraku.
Yeah, so they have risky maneuver. I'd be okay with like risky maneuver on this thing. Um, so put something useful that can like because I don't mind a model being like killable.
Yeah,
I just want it to be able to do the thing that it's supposed to do.
yeah,
So, because essentially this is a dead bonus on this, unless you just have a tome in hand,
yeah.
and there
And the
has to be a
lore.
speed marker that is important to move.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think the lure is also good on this model, especially at stat 5.
yeah, I mean, if you want to lure, there's other. I mean, how many points is Hinamatsu?
9.
Yeah, so for one more point, you get a lure and a model that's going to like kill you.
And survive the
Yeah, and
apocalypse.
survive because she's armor what 2
Yeah, she's armored 2, has soulstone use,
henchman.
and yeah, it's pretty gross. Yeah, no, I guess I'm with you. I would really, at the very least, give this model either stealth or hard to wound.
Yeah, because these models are cool when you paint them up, right?
Well, not stealth, because Kabuki warriors are showmen.
Yeah, they want to be flamboyant.
Yeah, they want to be flamboyant for sure. So yeah, harder wound would be better, or something that like reduces damage if you use pass tokens. instead of like it basically would be like use one pass token, reduce damage by 2.
Yeah, that'd be
I
cool.
think that would be cool. Yeah, and in theme,
Yeah.
call it perfect deflection.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Perfect.
Perfect performance. Yeah.
Because I do like the great sword on this model, so I think that's a good thing to keep on there. Combat finesse, I'm all about it. But yeah, that lure is a little weird, and New Horizons is not good.
Yeah. So removing the lure and giving something else, and
Useful bonus, yeah.
removing the New Horizons and giving him the risky maneuver that you're talking about. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yep. I think that would make it playable, and I'd be happy with it. And it's not unplayable. Like I said, this is a model that you could put on the table and get work out of. It's just,
Clunky.
yeah, it can be clunky for sure.
Yeah, this is another example of bad juju, but bad juju is actually good.
All right, Dixon, what is your next model that you think 10 Thunders needs to fix? So number 2.
I wish I had an answer for the problem, but Ten Thunders Brothers.
10
Yeah, was that on your list?
Thunders Brothers was on my list, so I'll put this as my number 2 as well. And the main reason it was on my list is because I didn't know it was an actual model.
Well, let's go with you first, because I like always I have honorable mentions just in case we matched up. So why do you? Because I don't have an answer to what to fix on this model.
So my problem with the 10 Thunders brother is I don't know what it's supposed to be doing. Right? Like you kind of look at this card and you see this weird bonus where it's kind of like a boring conversation, but it's not. And then you have this tactical action that gives out a focus, but it also has a trigger and it's only once per activation. You need a 7 for it to go off, so that doesn't feel good.
Well, and it doesn't give out focus; it gives him self-focus.
Oh, okay.
It's even
better.
worse.
Even better. You can't put it on an important model because you look at the attack action and you're like, okay, well, maybe his attack's good. It's a 2, 3, 4, 1-inch reach with Worthy Opponent, which is Worthy Opponent's a good trigger, but I mean, how many times are you going to see that?
Yeah.
And then I look at, it's 6 soul stones, so okay, it's not supposed to be super diesel, but it has diversion for some reason, so it's going to be in the mix and die to get diversion off, I guess. And this weird misdirection trigger to have another model, I guess. What does it do? Immediately another model within 2 of this model. Discard a card or suffer the effects of the action instead of this model. So
Yeah.
you got to have a mask in hand, and it says immediately, so you still have to win that duel, don't you?
Yes. Well, it's the same problem with the thrall. The thrall from WoW got
Yeah.
the same thing, but the thrall has it caked in. This one doesn't even have it built in.
Yeah, and then friendly scheme markers can't be removed within 4 of them, but he's just going to die anyway. So I'm very confused on what this model wants to do because it looks like it wants to be in the mix, but it's just going to die horrendously.
Yeah, no, it literally, I could not. I was like, this is a complete rework. This model has no work, no job, no identity. Like, I don't know what to do. So, I mean, since you have that model, then, and do you happen to have an answer? Because if not, then I would like to mention one of my honorable mentions.
I think it is take 10 Thunder's brother to the back shed, put a mask on a different model, and say, this is 10 Thunder's brother, and have it just be totally different rules.
That's the best answer I probably can figure out. Yeah. All right. Well, since you had that guy,
Okay.
I'll take one of my honorable mentions. He didn't make the list, but the Ruffians. I like to see the Ruffians.
Ruffians kind of like the models are cool because they're kind of like these like gentlemanly looking dudes.
Yeah.
They have swagger. I do like that they have swagger.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The big issue with them is they get to use swagger once with their 8-inch gun, and that's it. Then they just die. So yeah, it's so weird. It's 5 points, so I shouldn't care. But it doesn't seem to have a real good job.
So a Derringer is a 2.34 gun, 8-inch range.
Oh yeah,
Is there a better pistol gun you'd want them to have?
Well, yeah, any gun that is like range at least 12.
Well, they're carrying a pistol, right? They're kind of like a gentleman.
Fair. I don't know, man. I really, it's fine if their gun is 2, 3, 4. I guess the big issue is that they don't have any triggers that actually make me go, "Oh my god!" Like the gun with burst. Like you do, let's say, Merry Christmas Wonderland, right? You do 5 damage for the red Joker and 3 damage to somebody else. Is that good enough
So
for a 5 point model?
I mean, it would be if you could somehow somewhat reliably get that trigger,
Right.
but I think they should lean into the like you can tell they're wanting to lean into this like gang idea of like these guys just beating you up and stuff.
Yes.
So I would just kind of lean into that a little bit more and maybe make their gang weapon a little better. Um, or have some like the problem that we kind of have is for a 5 stone minion to be good, it needs to provide something that's just kind of innate almost. Like it needs to like if you want it to be a 2/2/3 damage,
Yeah.
have one suit built in for the thing you want this minion to do, right?
Okay.
So if you want them to be like I'm going to beat you up kind of model, have a trigger in there that's built in to like ping for damage like after the attack. Maybe like the bullwhip or something like McCabe has.
Hmm. Okay.
Um,
I mean, all I want really for this model, for me to use it, is camaraderie, which is an ability that is on the, I believe it's on the Gatling gunner of the guild. It's a versatile model, costs like 4 or 5 points. Anyway, the point is, whenever you're within 3 inches of another friendly model, you draw a card at the beginning of your activation. That's it.
okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you do that, and then this model gets a chance to draw 2 cards at the beginning of his activation. Even if he dies turn one, first activation, I'll do it for that risk.
Yeah, and I mean, chain gang is a good bonus, so that helps with a lot of your unpack stuff.
Yeah, I don't want him to be tougher. I don't want him to be hitting harder. I want him to do one more thing for me to be like, yeah, it's fine. I'll take him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think it's too far off because I've actually seen people use ruffians and not be terrible. It's not very often, but when I see them, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot they have chain gang, and I forget that they are ruthless, and so
Yep.
there are some like corner cases where they're okay, but
Yep.
I agree, either some kind of like little value or something just to give them more of a oomph.
Yep. And to specify the wording on camaraderie is when this model activates within 3 inches of another friendly living model, it may draw a card. So that makes it so that you have to be right next to somebody that's not the Luna and right next to somebody that is not the curator.
Yeah,
So it matters, but it gives you another card.
yeah, I could see that. All right, I guess let's see here. What's going to be my third one? We got that. We got that. Okay, I've been playing Shenlong. I gotta pick this Lotus Eater. It's just
Oh, okay. I'll pick from my yeah. Lotus Eater was my number one need to be fixed for the love of anything that's good and
so. I
decent.
mean, these models look really cool,
Yeah.
and I will say I like the idea of them removing markers because there's nothing in Shenlong's keyword that really does that.
Right.
So if the Lotus Eater was good and was able to like remove markers, and you know what I thought would be cool for this model, Dixon,
What's up?
is if it had something kind of like in Jedza's realm, where it's like, okay, you remove this type of marker. So let's say it's a scheme marker, you remove that, you get X effect. If it's
Okay.
a terrain marker, you get Y effect.
That's
If it's a corpse
interesting.
marker, you get, Z effect. So, depending on what type of marker you remove with the Lotus Eater, you can get some kind of effect built off of that.
Okay. Also, make it bigger because right now I think it's like he has to activate. No, it's at the end of his activation and within three. I don't know.
Well,
I
because it's like, yeah, it should be an action. Like, I don't think it should be an ability. Plus, if you've looked at the physical model, like it's a pretty like bulky looking model,
yes.
but it's only got 6 hit points. It has Hurricane Punch, which is fine, but it's only 2, 3, 4, and the triggers are like putting out stunned is fine. Aggressive Chi, I don't love it for the damage track, but it's fine.
Hmm.
Threaten's kind of weird.
Oh yeah, no, get rid of that. Threaten sucks. Why does he have it?
And then aggressive stance, I think that's a crap bonus. So
I would gladly give him what's the stupid action that Crow has? Crow from the Woes. He gets to push a model 4 inches and then remove markers from underneath it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it would have to be in theme, obviously, because I
Yeah,
believe Crow.
it would be monk, and then they have to be unengaged, I believe, right?
Well, this one is called disapproving glance. I'm talking about like it would have to be something related to the monks in
Yeah,
theme.
yeah.
And I would not mind if it's just friendly instead of like keyword specific, but I want it to be like cleanse the land or something. Push 4 inches, remove all markers, heal this much, and it's only friendly model only.
Yeah, and I'm fine with Sacred Ink staying. Protected money, that's fine if you're gonna. The thing is, like, the front of the card has it focused on like markers, right?
Right.
But then you look at the back of the card and there's nothing that has to do with markers. So it's like if
Yeah.
this is the shtick, and this is kind of one of the things that I think Weird is getting better at, but you can tell this is early third edition, right? Because you have
Yes.
two very different parts of the card. You have it where it's like, oh, this model looks like it's going to be terrain model, but then you get to the back and it's like, oh, he's actually a fighter.
Yeah, dude. I first thing that I would do in the front of the card because I would still like to fix some of the stuff is Path of the Lotus. Fix that up a little bit. Because like right now it's like, I get it. You heal, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and then fix Soul Ward. Make Soul Ward reduce damage and be after resolving. Do something with that for every chi on this model, or remove a chi from this model, reduce damage by 2. Something in theme that would make the model still a tech piece without breaking him.
Now, that being said, I can hear everybody screaming at the podcast right now saying Shenlong doesn't need another good minion.
I mean, what does he have right now that is a minion that's good? Let's just say it that way.
Charm Ward?
That's not a minion.
Wandering
Nobody.
River Monk?
That's not a minion, dude. There's so many.
Low
There's
River
like
Monk?
4. Yeah, no, they're all there. There's like 4 that are really good, and then
Even High
there's
River Monk's not terrible.
the High River Monk. The only problem that he has is that he dies.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little too fast. That's literally the only problem, but he's not bad.
Yeah. What is your third model that you think needs fixing there, Dixon?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say the Katanata Sniper, and honestly,
Why is there a sniper in 10 Thunders? That doesn't feel like on theme.
I think it does. They're all about assassins, and a sniper is an assassin.
Okay, maybe that's fair.
Well, specifically, Last Blossom is a house of assassins. So having a sniper is actually good. But the problem with this guy is that he is not a very good assassin.
So let's see.
7
He
points.
ignores concealment and friendly fire. He ignores cover. I mean, he's better than Rami, apparently.
Well, yes and no. He's stat 5. He also doesn't have easy access to focus. And although he does have From the Shadows, he has almost no way to stay alive. He doesn't have stealth. He doesn't have any of the other stuff that, like, for example, if you look at Angel Eyes has disguise, so she cannot be charged. So that's the kind of stuff that we're talking about here.
So I will say, though, I have seen people, specifically newer players, bring this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I've seen specifically Chris Leopard played in a tournament where he was playing against a newer player, and they brought 2 Katanaka snipers, and the dude red jokered like 3 times on damage.
Nice.
And he was like one-shotting some of Chris's crew because I think one time it got red joker with crit strike, so it was like 7 damage. And Chris is just like, what is going on?
I mean, that's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
It was. He still won, but
oh, of course, yeah. Because like killing is not necessarily the thing that determines what wins, but like that's still funny as a story.
Yeah.
I don't know. The thing that I want this model to do is have a trigger like Apex has. Whatever Cooper, when Cooper kills something, he drops a ski marker.
Yeah.
I want that. I want this model to have that, and I want his Clockwork Rifle to be stat 6. That's it. That's all I want.
What about stealth or disguised?
No. I want him to. He's a minion. You can give him the upgrade if you want. You can put concealment on him. You can, do other stuff to him.
Yeah.
But I like him to stay cheap and just do his job, which is do damage. And if you get to him, you get to violently destroy him.
Okay.
But yeah, give him a trigger that drops the scheme marker, therefore that he can just, automatically get what's the forgot the name of the dead bodies or whatever, the scheme, and then give him stat 6 on the gun. That's it.
Okay, I could see that. I mean, because like we were saying, he's probably not far off from being a decent sniper.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so if you don't know how big stat 6 is from stat 5, I'm telling you, if you haven't seen the new McTavish on the board yet, his gun being stat 6 and being able to get a third shot off has made the world of difference with that model being good as opposed to not good.
I mean, I've seen him on the table, and he is still doo doo butt in my opinion.
He's
But
not.
I guess
You're
I guess
wrong about that.
I yet to see him do work. But then again, I also hate him with a passion so much that I murder him before he even had a chance.
Yeah, so I think that's the thing is he's not like auto bring, like he's going to be amazing in like every single pool and everything.
Yeah.
But like I played him in a game where it was corner deployment
Yes.
and it was raid the vaults.
Nice.
And basically by the end of the game, he'd killed, I think, 3 models on his own, one of them including Marco. He'd helped score protected territory. And by the end of turn 4, he was on the very back raid the vault marker. Just
Okay.
because on the move is just so nice to kind of get him going, like, and into position to either shoot or scheme or even charge. So his
Yeah.
mobility is just kind of the real nutty thing. And then on top of that, he now has a good gun.
I mean,
That is stat 6.
he always had the on the move. Just want to point that out. But the
Yeah,
stat
but this
6,
bonus is better.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I just realized the reason why he was just a bad pick in my game is because Joroguma say you can't heal. I was like, why was this guy so easy to murder? Oh, Joroguma is just straight up murder.
Oh, I'm playing the busted Oni keyword. That's
You're not
why.
busted. It's only been one tournament or 200 games, and she has a 70% win rate.
Oh, is that it?
That's it. That's
Is
it.
that,
Only
is
10
that good?
games.
Did she break it?
27 games
Is
total.
high score bad?
27 games total. That's it. I mean, she needs a little bit more games, but 27 games, 77% win rate, pretty good.
Not bad. Yeah, so going back to it, Clockwork Rifle, stat 6 would help the model out a ton. And you're right, I don't think you have to change too much besides those things you said.
Yeah, I just want him to do damage. I want him to do damage, and if he gets caught out, then, murder him. It's
Okay.
you know what other model does that in Bayou that is very similar? Bushwhackers.
Ah, love me a bushwhacker.
Bushwhackers are good.
They have
Exactly.
stealth though.
Well, yeah, but they also don't have stat 6, ignore everything but line of sight.
I mean, it's true. All right, moving on to number 4. My number 4 of the model that needs to be fixed is purely because I think this model looks freaking cool as all get out. Even the alt sculpt is pretty cool, but I'm going with Mr. Graves.
Oh my god, I forgot he existed.
I know, because he comes in that sweet box with Tannen, and everybody loves playing Tannen. And I don't know about you, Dixon, but I like this model, but it just, I almost can't put my finger on it. I think probably the biggest thing that I found Mr. Graves was just a real problem was that he has black blood, but it's usually bad because it gets abused and splashes onto your own models.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 1000%. I don't understand why they kept that in the edition. I mean, I know the reason why. He's a mature Nephilim.
As a matter of fact, I think it's I don't know the fluff on him, but I would assume the fluff probably fits with black blood. But I think it was actually a game against you that I was playing Mr. Graves, and you just were like, "Cool, I'm just going to punch you for like 1 or 2 damage, and I'm going to position you right in the middle of your crew." So now there's like 4 models taking black blood damage.
Yeah, it was me. I remember that game. It was
I was just like, okay, not bringing him
never
ever
again.
again.
Yeah, never again. Because like the thing, I was just pinging him for 1 damage. I remember that too.
Well, also, he has things, and here's why. And normally, if you're a player, you're thinking like, okay, he has black blood, just don't keep him near your stuff. But he
Right.
has abilities that want him to be near your stuff. He has bodyguard, he has lead the way, and both of those things, you need to be within 2 inches of a friendly model.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the thing is, again, this is supposed to be a hidden mature Nephilim, but like, come on now, just I at this point in time, you can change black blood for like bright blood or something, make it so that it hands out, bright tokens or whatever.
Brilliance.
Yeah, because it just doesn't make any sense. It's literally the one thing that's holding back this model, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, he's an enforcer as well. He's only stat 5. He is hard to kill, which is something. Um, and I like fence post. I like lead the way. Keeping the peace, I'm not crazy about it. You already have probably Mr. Tannen for boring conversation. I don't think you need keeping the peace. So if they gave like a
Yeah.
different bonus, I think I'd be happier with him. But it's really the black blood that kills it. Like when a good opponent sees you have Mr. Graves, they're going to leverage that. It's one of those. What do we call those models? Not magnets, but
No, it's oh my god, my brain is
target.
failing. Targeting beacon. Targeting
Yeah,
beacon.
beacon. There it is. Yeah, we said it. This is a good model that is a target beacon.
This is a targeting beacon and sadness. Well, first, since he's an enforcer, his fence post could have better triggers. That's first and foremost. Give him days for crying out loud.
Well, and here's another reason, Dixon, that Mr. Graves tends to not get brought is because if you have Mr. Tannen and Mr. Graves, they're usually in the same real estate space, right?
Yeah.
And Mr. Graves is on a 40 and he's size 3. You could just hide on the other side of Graves to block the
Mhm.
boring conversation aura.
Also true. Yeah, you can move. You can move graves. Yeah, no, there's a lot of things that need to be changed about poor old graves, and honestly, it's so sad.
And I was actually talking to some people about possible like keyword reworks. Some people, I mean, granted, I don't know if 10 Thunders needs it,
I
but
don't think so.
Honeypot could be one that I think could get kind of reworked to make it synergize a little better.
I don't think so. I think it's just graves and a little bit of work on the illuminated. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Maybe touch those two.
Hmm.
What is your number 4 there, Dixon?
Geishas.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, cheap models that have diversion, but not diversion, distraction, but really don't have a way to do anything with it. And I really don't know how to fix these models.
Well, I think this is something that Weird could give these geishas kind of the same thing they just did with the showgirls.
Right.
They gave the showgirls a bonus. I think Weird realizes the further they got into M3 that just if you have the choice between a model that has a bonus and one that doesn't, you're not going to bring the one that doesn't. It's like this is about action efficiency. And a model would have to be amazing to be brought when it doesn't have a bonus. And the geishas just are not it.
Yeah, I mean, disguise is good, so we can't really deny that.
It's true.
But they need take by the hand. That would be another thing that I would give them.
And that'd be very fitting with the model.
Yeah, and that's about it. I really don't have any other thing that I want to give this model because
Just
I
give
don't
it a
want to.
bonus. Take by the hand's not a bonus, is it?
As for yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you
So
did that, I think I actually would be okay with this model.
and I would increase the defense from 4 to 5. Really, I mean,
Yeah, I think
I
that'd
don't
be
see
fair.
any. Yeah, I don't see any point and reason for it to be so squishy so easily. Because right now that's the big issue. The big issue with this model is just that it's a gun. Random shot will kill it. Random attack will kill it. It never gets to do its job. But if you give him take by the hand, you get to move people around because lure is just not enough.
Yeah, and I think because there's certain models where it's like if it's cheap, it's fine if it dies, but it should serve a purpose. So if you do like a terracotta warrior,
Hmm.
yeah, it's going to die, but it takes 3 specific like instances of damage to kill it.
Yeah.
And it has the ability to take the hit. So then it's protecting models, ideally for 3 hits.
Yeah.
And the geishas, if you want to make them this like unpack and like turn 1, turn 2 kind of like affect the board, that's a perfect role for this model.
Yeah, just I don't know. I don't want it to be like super tanky, but I want it to do
No,
stuff.
absolutely not. I mean, they're wearing
Yeah.
silk kimonos, man.
Yeah. Also, instead of lure, lead the way, the new action from the elite mimic guys that would actually make models move forward for her own crew. That's another thing that you could do instead of, or you could leave lure and just add that other action to it.
Yeah.
I mean, again, she never sees play. I really wish that she saw any play. The only people that I see playing this model are like new players or people that are bored.
Yeah, or people
And
that just love painting them because they're good at painting kimonos and flowers.
that's fair.
All right. And then I'm going to give my number 5 model that needs to be fixed. This one, I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what you think about this and what everybody thinks about it.
Okay.
So my model, last one that I think needs to be fixed, I'm going to pick Kang.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Kang, first off, I love the way this model looks because he's got like this metal arm, kind of like a Colossus type vibe to him, right?
Yeah.
He's only moved 4, so I'm not crazy about that, but he has ride the rails. He has workers champion, so I mean he can remove a scrapped pulse out focus, which is good for foundry models. I don't hate that.
Yeah.
He can remove slow and distracted.
Yeah.
He's got 2-3-5 with crit strike. It's a shovel though. I think that should be a 2-inch reach. It's only a 1-inch reach.
Yes.
Give him 2. Keep the 6 in the ram. So essentially, if you stone for it because he is a henchman, that'll make him 4, 5, 7 damage, which I think is very respectable. Hot coals, I'm not crazy about. I could get that replaced, and I think I'd be fine with it. Maybe something that's more fitting to supporting the crew. Maybe a little bit with that. I don't know. Maybe some kind of aura that helps out because he seems like somebody who wants to help his crew, whether it's get rid of negative conditions or maybe give some kind of positive thing out. Juggernaut's fine, but I mean, these days we're kind of seeing a lot of henchmen, especially once you get to like 9 soul stones, that Juggernaut just doesn't seem like it's good enough for a henchman like this that is going to be kind of in the mix.
Yeah.
And if you are, it's like people are usually going to bring a Toto instead because Ototo's just got a 2-inch reach and charge through and all that crap.
Right.
So I would probably switch out Juggernaut for something else, maybe a trigger to get like an extra swing or something in there.
Well, I was thinking onward with the trigger for an attack, sudden strike.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I do.
Yeah, that my part of my fix is remove,
because then you could ride the rails off that.
That's exactly why. So my fix was actually very, very straightforward. It was remove guiding presence, give him armor 1. Remove Juggernaut. Well, yeah, remove Juggernaut, put in onward with sudden strike. That's it.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I wanted to change it. I was like, do I really need to remove? And then hot coals, you can take that entire thing out. Like it really, like it's there for blinded by iron, and that's about it. So it's up to you if you really want to use it.
Yeah, I would almost be okay with just him having another version of what's the crap that Neil Henry has and Hoffman 2 has, the bulldoze.
Yes.
I would.
Oh my God, yes.
Because then you could remove markers, put more scrap out, gives you some movement. So I would rather see that than hot coals, honestly.
You know what? Because he's speed 4, how about the action that Bill Algren has? The one where he gets into combat and pushes friendly models
heroic, whatever it is.
Heroic intervention.
Yeah. I'd be good with that one too.
Yeah, it increases his threat by 2. Yeah, for sure. Like this model has like the inkling of like an amazing model, but like
it's not like too far off. I think just changing a handful of things like we were talking about would make him very playable.
Correct.
Well, cool. What's your number Number uno, then Dixon.
I mean, I wanted to say Ban Ying just to nerf him, but like,
No, we're talking about making models playable.
I know. I have a love for the giant baby.
You do.
I do. Have you seen me play it?
Yep,
He has actually performed.
kind of.
So yeah, I want to fix him, quote unquote, because I think he's good, but like,
What is that
not
model?
everybody.
What is the model's real name? Oh, the
Yeah,
obsidian
the
statue.
obsidian statue, yes, the obsidian statue. So yeah, no, that's
Well,
so
because people don't like the obsidian statue because it's only defense 3. Um, what else did they not like about this stupid
no,
thing?
that's it. That's it. They just don't like the fact that it's defense 3.
I also don't love that it has a 1-inch reach for such a huge model. You'd think it'd have 2.
Well, first things first that I would change is change huge fist to like giant mace, or giant
Yeah.
hammer, like the relic hammer. Yeah, because the thing is, like, it literally has a giant freaking mace in the hand. So yeah, give it a 2-inch melee. 2-inch melee 346. I mean, come on now. And the second thing that I would like to give this model is, and I know this is gonna be like dumb because a lot of people are still gonna be like, "Oh, he has armor too. You shouldn't be able to do that." But like, give him 10 health. That's it.
Or at least 9.
Nah, give him 10 health. He's defense 3. Come on now. That's
Well,
it.
the reason why a lot of armored stuff you see lower
Mm-hmm.
is because they like, if you want to say like, oh, Hoffman stuff, has lower hit points and their armor too. It's like,
Right.
well, yeah, but they're also not defense 3.
Yeah, for sure. And then like, I know that his breath of fire sucks as a stat 5 and stuff. That's fine. If you give him 2-inch melee and like give him, the 2 more health, I think this model's like, I have played him as is and he performs. Again, you say that he almost performs or whatever, but like, honestly, he's done fine for me.
Yeah, I mean, you've mostly played him in Mayfang, right?
Yeah, only in Mayfang and for obvious reasons, yes.
Well, because honestly, with Mayfang, he kind of is easier to keep around.
Yeah.
Because you have some stuff that heals, but also his bonus just is better in Mayfang because there's more scrap around the board.
Yeah, also, the scrap that he lays around the board becomes pit traps.
Yep.
So he becomes a giant problem when you play it in that combo and your opponent is not, particularly taking him seriously.
Oh yeah, I had Sparks became a very big problem for one of my opponents earlier this week. So,
oh God, you're going back to Maw. I forgot about this.
the Maw took it. I'm going to solo the crap out of Maw tomorrow in a local event.
Oh, I'm so sorry for these people. Wait, is that the event that I made the thingies for?
It is. We're finally playing it.
Please and thank you. Let me know because I want to know how.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about it for sure.
But yeah, I'm so sorry for those people.
We'll see how it goes. Because there are certain matchups where you have to definitely flex a little bit with Maw. So we'll see.
Okay.
So we got our 5 models, 10 in total that need to be buffed. I don't know if those got buffed. Would that just make 10 Thunders insane to play against?
No, because the models that we pick literally like they're just either tech picks or they're just in keyword.
True.
That's it. Obsidian Statue doesn't get picked ever. Like, I'm the only crazy person. That's because I love.
It is a weird model, man. Like, I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, what in the crap is that?
It's a giant baby.
Giant burnt baby.
Oh, but yeah, no. A surprise. No masters.
Hmm.
I don't have any of my. I have like 2 more models in my honorable mention.
Well, we'll talk about those 2 models just to fill some time here. But
Yeah.
if I was going to pick one master that I think needs a buff, I would probably pick Mayfang 1.
Okay, that's fair.
And I know people have made her work, and people have won really tough games with her, so she's not unplayable, but she does feel a little clunky sometimes. And you've played her, Dixon. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple things on her card you just wish were a little smoother.
Yes, there's a couple of things that I prefer that were a little smoother. Like for example, we just talked about Onward with Sudden Strike Trigger. I wish she had something like that. Her
Yeah,
bonus action just isn't quite there.
yeah, yeah. So something like that, just to kind of smooth it out. Somebody
Yeah.
was saying like because she can reduce the dual total by 2 to add a suit. That would be super good if her stat was a little high. Like even if it was stat 7,
Hmm.
that means that you could drop it to a stat 5 on her deadly claws to get the trigger you wanted, and that would make like jackhammer, kick way better.
Oh yeah.
Um, because then you could just be like, I'm going to vent steam with this breath of fire, condensation trigger, and then I'm
Yep.
going to go ahead and jackhammer kick you for 2 damage and 1 ping damage.
Yep. And then you just keep pushing people off the like that. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, that'd
I
be cool.
agree with you.
Yeah, and somebody said that before on the podcast, so it might even have been like Liam or somebody. But
Yeah.
all right, let's talk about the. You said you had 2 more for honorable mentions.
Yes, yes, I did. Let's see if you actually agree with any of them. The first one
Okay.
is Paper Tiger.
Interesting.
Have you seen this stupid model?
I have.
Really? And you don't think that he deserved this?
I mean, he's a. I mean, he is a paper tiger. I mean, what do you? He's not a real tiger. He's a paper tiger. So he's a scheme runner, and that's pretty much all he is.
Yeah, well, he's a very bad scheme runner. When there's like 6 or 5 point models that do their job better than this stupid model, that's a problem.
I mean, but he has blown in the wind. You don't have to flip for it.
Oh no, that's not dude. No, I'm sorry. He has 3 attacks. I know that that's the main reason why people are like. I would. Oh my god, I just wish his deadly claws actually matter a little bit more, because like he has made to kill, but then his deadly claws are
No
stat
trigger.
5, stat 5, no trigger, minimum damage 2. I'm just like, you just hate this model.
Yeah, I mean, if you bring it, it's like okay, you're just bringing a scheme runner, and then you kind of run into the same thing where it's like, well, you have Story of Wukong, Sun
Yeah.
Wukong, that is, and then you have if you want to go out of keyword, you can get like Desper LaRoe.
Yep.
You got Hucksters.
Yep.
You-
That's literally one of the 6 point models I was telling you about.
Yeah. So,
Bookkeepers. That's the other one.
oh yeah, and bookkeepers are great. I forgot about them. Those are fantastic scheme runners.
Draw you card has a bonus action for interact. What else? Oh, go through walls because why not? Yeah. Sorry, Paper Tiger ain't it.
Yeah, I think you just convinced me with just saying bookkeepers because I'm like, oh yeah, bookkeepers are amazing.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing that I would do for the Paper Tiger is give him flight. Like honestly, it is so frustrating that this model doesn't have unimpeded, doesn't have any like if he has movement shenanigans, like cover is not enough. Increase his stats by 1 on the attack and on the defense and the willpower. Like seriously, this model is just it doesn't do his job. The deadly claws, I would invert intimidating roar and deadly claws because again, he doesn't do his job.
Yeah, yeah, I can see what you're saying now with that.
Yeah. So, am I crazy? Do you want to like add anything to this model other than what I said?
So I would probably. Hmm. I'm okay with Blown by the Wind being there because it kind of fits with the whole Paper Tiger thing.
Right. I'm okay with that too. Yeah.
I mean, so here's the thing, right? Because I mean, what's the definition of a paper tiger?
Well, I want him to do death by 1,000 cuts as well. I
Well,
get
well, what
that.
I'm saying is the definition of a paper tiger is something that looks strong, but it isn't, right?
Right.
So I think in that mindset, and you have this image of this tiger that's kind of unraveling, like kind of in the wind.
Right.
So I think something similar to what you're saying, maybe some kind of death by 1,000 cuts type action where it's like, but also I'd be okay with, you know, a trigger that does more damage. So let's say Deadly Claws, but you have a mass trigger to take an attack again.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
you taking a damage for that, kind of like the old Katashiro.
Okay. No, I
Because
get what you're saying. The
if you're a
frantic
paper
attack.
tiger, you're kind of weak. So I don't think it should be a strong model if we're being thematic with it. But
I don't want, yeah, I don't want him to do a lot of damage. I just want him to be able to do a job. And right now, he just doesn't seem to do any job.
yeah, because he's easy to kill.
Yeah, he's easy to kill. He doesn't do damage. The only thing that he has is blown by the wind. That's it. He's movement 6, but he doesn't have unimpeded or
He
flight.
has cover for some reason.
Yeah, so again, it's just like, dude, this guy is just asking to get murdered.
Hmm.
Yeah, sorry if I was a downer, but this model,
No. I mean, I can see what you're saying for sure, and I definitely don't see it as much as the other models, but I have seen it, and it's
Mhm.
basically people that just want to stay in keyword
yes,
and like the model.
yes, absolutely. Oh my god,
And what is the last model that you had?
the last one was the one Yudo.
Wenudo.
Yes, I mean he's a free model, so I shouldn't really be asking for buffs. But when was the last time you actually saw him on the table and actually do anything of huge import?
Well, when he's free and he just rolls off in schemes, I mean that's pretty solid.
Now you set the right moment, which is when he's free,
Yeah, you're
and
never
that's
hiring this.
yeah. Minako Ray gets one of these, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, watch out for the wheel of fire. That's about
Yeah, I
it.
mean because it's stat 7. I mean, I'm actually quite. The only thing I don't like about the Wenudo, and once again, I would never hire this,
Mhm.
but I think it's fine summoned. If you want it to be hired, it does need to be tweaked because there's models that do what it does just as well.
Right.
But I will say the only thing I don't like about it when I've had it summoned on the board is I don't like the bonus a lot. The whole enemy models within range get, with
Yeah.
burning, suffer 1 damage from the burning condition, and then you reduce it by 1.
Yep.
I would rather that be something more schemy or mobility, or even if there was a trigger on there for like reposition.
Oh, you know the action. It's just that you often see it on guild,
Yeah.
which is the ability to move 5 inches and set things on fire on your path.
Yeah.
Just give that to this model.
Yeah. What is that?
I think it's called hovering flames or some
It
crap
is.
like that.
It is hovering flames.
But like the thing is that is like I just want this model to actually be able to do anything.
Yeah.
You put him to work with speed. Okay, fine. All right. So what is the speed that you're trying to do for him? So give him that bonus action that we talked about, and then I don't know. I guess. What else would you add him? Lower damage by using fire? No, that doesn't sound.
I
Right
don't even
either.
care about that. I want the speed 7 and the extra mobility.
You just want the extra mobility? Okay.
No, I don't even care about doing damage. I just want to go scheme.
Okay, then let's give him something like the ability that Luisa has.
Which one's that?
The move, it's a charge, but instead of a melee attack, it's an interact.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's perfect for him. And then I would
Yeah, I
actually
mean, I'd be fine
hire
with
this
that.
damn thing. Yeah, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
If he had literally the push that Luisa has, that it's push, drop a ski marker, or interact. I mean, yeah, no, that's it. And then he could die. I don't care.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like the mobility is the most important thing. His damage is really lackluster. And if you think about it in 10 Thunders, there's not like a crazy amount of burning synergy anyways.
You'd be shocked. There's like 5 models.
There's 5 models that have like incidental burning.
No, they have burning synergy. Like even the baby has it, the Dawn Serpent has it. There's a few.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. There's models that have it, but there's not really a master that really makes it pay off.
I got you now.
Like you don't have a Karis, you don't have like a Sandeep, you don't have a Riva.
Yeah, you're right on that. I don't think there's a master that cares about the fire.
Yeah,
there's a
really.
bunch of models that care about fire.
Yeah, not in 10 Thunders.
Yeah, Suzaku is one of them. Suzaku loves. By the way, that bird, oh my god, MVP in every game that I played him in Oni.
So what you're saying is you need a proxy for Suzaku, huh?
You don't own one? No.
I mean, I could find a bird and slap it on a base for you.
A phoenix has to be a phoenix.
I'll get an Imperium Eagle from the Cooper box for you.
Oh, dude, that's perfect actually. And
Yeah.
the bird, yeah, because the bird is not out yet. Yeah, for sure. Thanks.
Yeah,
Dude,
dude.
Susaku OP. Oh my god. Which is again another reason why I'm like, why would I want the one Yudo? Why would I want this
Menudo.
stupid model?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good free model.
Man, this was a lot shorter than the last one, but honestly, Ten Thunders has a lot of good models. That's probably the reason why.
Yeah, I mean, they do have a lot of good models, and the faction is in a really good solid spot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's not even like low. It's like in the middle of the pack, but it's still really good, strong masters.
So playing Oni, are you just staying in keyword, or have you been messing around with some out of keyword stuff?
So I did do testing for Auto Keyword and Double Masters. You obviously know that I love me McCabe, so I
Yeah.
did McCabe too. And I did also Bill Algren. Holy moly, Bill Algren OP.
So you don't find it challenging that they don't ignore like rift markers and then
No, no.
okay.
Bill, the damage that Bill does is so absurd that I'll take 1 or 2 damage to do 7 damage to you.
Fair.
Yeah, it's so outrageous. Also, Paper Demons today won me the game against Nelly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I kept summoning Paper Demons over and over again and just throwing him at Nelly and just crisscross applesauce doing 1 damage and being annoying.
Interesting.
Yeah, it kept the Lone Marshal healed, but I would trade the Lone Marshal heals and thus only, kills one of my summon models than do anything else.
Yeah, I mean you're basically keeping them busy, right?
That's exactly what it was. I was like, I just pin him in place and be like, all right, do your thing. And then he would just like, all right, stagger, get into position, shank, go.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, like people talk about Ten Thunders being in a good spot. I actually think that Guild is in a really good spot right now.
I I'm not hearing that, unfortunately.
Which
Um,
is weird because I feel like Nellie's in a really good spot. I think if you like Nellie, you could get reps just to be ridiculous with her. I
hmm,
think that Dashel I think Dashel's amazing. Like I don't under like if you're playing Guild and you're not playing Dashel, I don't understand you.
that's a good point.
Because I think Dashel I could just solo and just win games with.
I mean, incidentally, he is one of the best masters in Guild, but Guild has still like the lowest win rate out of all the factions right now, shockingly.
Yeah, and that might also be just hey, we're the human effect, so people want to play different factions.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Bayou, we know that. I mean, every faction is good in this GG, in my opinion. They have like really good things, but I think people are just still getting used to it. Summerteeth Jones and Bayou holding the faction like Atlas, by the way, 60% win rate, 102 games. This
Dude,
man, the myth, the gremlin.
I've played 5 games with Somer, and I'm a pretty big fan.
Dude, oh my God, I can't wait until
I don't
you.
think I told you this, Dixon. I was playing against Trevor, right?
Yeah.
And we were doing plant explosives, which I didn't think Somer was going to be good at
Okay.
because I was like, okay, this isn't a Somer scheme, but I'm going to try him just because I'm playing him. So he's actually pretty good at it.
Yeah. No, we didn't Moser say something about like you can pick up explosives and they immediately disappear if you pick them up with a Bayou Gremlin that is obeyed by a crier.
So here's the thing, right? Well, if you're summoned, you can't interact with the strat markers, but
But on the turn that they're summoned, but yes.
well, no. Even once they're summoned, summoned models can't interact with strategy markers unless it's.
Oh, that's right.
But anyways, um, so Model 9 was over there. Trevor was playing Cooper 2. Model
Hmm.
9 was up in a corner trying to scheme. I ended up throwing Jebediah at him to kind of keep him busy.
Hmm.
And I pushed him off the marker with Clever Ruse with Jebediah. And then once I pushed him off, I wasn't engaged anymore by Model 9. So then I picked up the bomb.
Yeah.
Well, then Trevor did by your side with Uller to pick
Right.
up my bomb that I had laid down the previous turn.
Right.
And then he interacted to drop it basically where I
It's
couldn't
hitting
get
the
to
line.
it.
Yeah.
But I flew one of my skeeters on top of the bomb,
And he
and then I
carried.
and then I summoned a crier,
Oh my god!
and the crier said, "Hey, Skeeter, pick that up for me." And the Skeeter picks it up because it ignores being engaged,
And insignificant.
and it ignores it being insignificant. And then I ended up activating it first turn, or first activation next turn, and
Yeah.
flew it out of there, and then obeyed it to drop the bomb.
Dude, that is again, it's just little things like that. That's what I said. It's like a better player than I can pick this keyword up and do some nasty crap
Oh
in
yeah,
this
man.
GG.
And this is only after like 5 games of playing it. I'm just like, man, I can't wait to get this keyword and just like crank out a bunch of reps with it.
It's so dumb. And like I said, it's like the Lenny slide can be done with anybody, including Summer. So Summer can summon things on turn one,
Yeah.
which is outrageous.
Yeah, and this was even in like corner, so I didn't think it was going to be like good at all, but it was pretty good.
Oh yeah, no. Lenny slide makes anything
Well,
just
not only the Lenny slide, dude. I didn't realize that the Skeeters
Mhm.
have "You're Coming with Me," and if you bring Lenny and you're within 8 inches of Lenny, I think it's 8,
yeah.
you can cheat off the top of the deck to get a built-in mask. So you automatically, for one attack, you'd buy you 2 card, one of your own models to push it 3 and go base to base with it.
That is so dumb.
Yeah,
That
it's like,
is so dumb.
and I was like, that's really good for the unpack because I'll take 1 damage and a 3-inch push all day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Dude.
I've been enjoying coming back to Bayou. I do like Shenlong because he's just the raw power,
Mhm.
but I am enjoying playing Bayou significantly more.
Yeah. I mean, there's spit hog combos, there's crier combos,
Ooh, what's a spit hog combo?
banjonistas. Well, no, the spit hog is basically you can hurt your models for profit, and then you can heal them back up.
Oh, sure.
And then you ignore the spit hog for line of sight purposes, so you can hide behind it, do crazy stuff, and let the spit hog take the hit. Like it's just little things like that. But the crier is the one that has like the nastiest combos.
Oh yeah,
So it
criers
may-
are gross.
yeah, they make sense that they increased their costs and they stayed the same. I was like,
Also,
yeah, never mind this.
You have the distracted aura, so you can go into something, give it slow,
Mhm.
and then obey it on a negative to do something.
You can summon them literally in base to base with the thing that you're going to obey.
Yeah.
On turn one. It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
Hey, I'm going to obey you to go kill your own model. Go.
Hey, drop your plant explosives right now. Just
Right
just
there.
do it. Just
Do
do
it.
it. Right there.
Actually, you can't obey them to drop their marker.
Oh, but you can obey them to vote. I just
Yeah, you
keep
can obey them
forgetting.
to vote.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that that's the thing. Damn.
Yeah, you're just used to playing Zoraida before they clarified that.
Yeah, I'm just dumb.
I forget they clarified that like back in like GG1, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just one of those things that I wish I was still a thing. Because like I remember way back in Malifaux V1, dude. Like that's how stupid it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
You're Coming with Me is like it's so cancerous because exactly what you said. Because like if you're within certain range of Lenny, you just have to cheat from the top of the deck. You're like, oh okay, boom, done, boom, done.
Yeah. And I'm also excited to play Brewmaster here. So I'm going to get some brew reps.
Wait, really?
Yeah, so I'm basically going to be playing Maw, Zip, Brew, and Somer.
Okay.
So a mix of those 4 are kind of what I'm playing.
I'm surprised. I thought you were just gonna play like one or the other, either Summer or Ma. I was not expecting Brew, but
Well, dude, Zip's so good.
yeah, absolutely. But
No
the thing
way
is,
I'm not playing Zip, dude. I've got a proxy for Toast loaded and ready.
you say, yeah, buddy. You say that about bringing crews, but I also know that you're the type of guy that likes to run with the same crew and just force it.
I mean, I have recently, but if I go back to my old ways, I tend to bounce around quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more than shocked that you didn't go with Molly. I'm not gonna lie, because I thought you were gonna be like Captain Khan. I was this close. I'm gonna go and prove it in Houston.
The problem with Molly is she does have some glaring weaknesses sometimes,
Okay.
and also, there's a very specific way you kind of have to play her. Um, so that can kind of get boring sometimes unless you want to drop the title, and I'm not comfortable enough with the title. Um, so yeah, I mean, she's good, and I definitely obviously did well with her, but um, Bayou's just more interesting to me right now.
Okay.
Man, you're jamming out, Dixon.
Politics.
Politics. What
Yeah, it's an election year.
does that have to do with jamming music?
That's how they canvass.
Really?
Yes.
They have like a big speaker on their truck or something?
Yes. Welcome to Puerto Rico.
Who's the mayor trying to get reelected with the music?
Oh no, this is somebody else. The mayor doesn't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, if we know the mayor, he's actually our neighbor.
Okay.
His mother-in-law is our neighbor. That's what I mean. So he does like gatherings, and we talk. It's like, okay, what do we actually need? Oh, we need this, blah blah blah. But everybody else that's trying to win, they're like just being loud as crap. There's been like there's two candidates that are
Listen,
going
and
around.
this is the same way with Stuff the Ballots for Malifaux, right? So if you're going to be playing Stuff the Ballots in the Houston GT or whatever tournament or game you're playing, just remember FDR told LBJ back in the day, it's like the reason why you didn't win is because you forgot to sit on the ballot box. So when you're playing Stuff the Ballots, don't forget to put a model on the ballot box, protect it from being stuffed.
Yeah, Nelly was a huge problem. My God, I don't even know how I'm gonna deal with her.
Did you play her in Stuff the Ballots?
No, I played it in Cloak, which is similar.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
that's tough.
she was sitting on top of a cloak thingy. It's just like, okay,
Well, because you're almost forced at that point to like, I have to kill you, right?
yes,
Because you can't interact because then they just interact.
yeah. And the thing is, we had a battle by basically going back and forth where like my master wouldn't die and his master wouldn't die.
Nice.
Not for lack of trying. Like I got Asami down to like 4 health by the end of turn 5.
Are you playing mostly Asami 2 or are you flexing back and forth?
Flexing back and forth. I like Asami 1 for cloak and for raids.
Okay. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. Asami 2, on the other hand, she is just so dang fast. So like
Well, yeah,
I can
'cause
drop
they can walk through
bombs.
the rift markers, right?
Yeah, and I drop bombs like sometimes on turn 1, all 4 of them.
That's
It's super fast, dude.
dirty.
Dude, it's like insanely fast because like Tengu are way harder to take down
Oh,
sometimes.
I love the new Tengus.
It is like it's a 5-point model. It's like, okay, so you need to kill them in melee. Where are they? In the corner of the map?
How are you liking the Kunoichi?
What?
The little cat dude.
Oh, Kamaitachi.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
you know what I meant.
Yeah. Itachi is a just card cleanser. That's it. He heals and he card cleanses. That's all he does.
Maybe moves the rift marker around.
He moves people around on turn 1. He cleanses my hand. And then after that, he's hunting down like people and just pushing rift markers into them.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That's it. That's all I do. It's like, all right, push people into the rift
I
marker.
mean, it's a solid
push the rift
support
marker.
like model though.
I mean, he dies constantly
Oh,
because
yeah.
he's super squishy. But like when people forget about him, like after turn 3, it's like, do you really want to kill this model?
Are you sure?
Oh, but yeah, no, I love him because of that. He's easy. He's 5 points. Whatever.
Cool. Well, Dixon, anything else you want to share before we wrap this thing up?
I'm excited. I'm hoping that I get to see you in Houston. My family and I are preparing already. I mean, it's like a month left.
The prognosis looks like I am still. So
sweet.
Yep. We'll see. Excuse me.
As he's coughing his lungs out.
Which is funny because I haven't smoked in like a week almost.
Oh.
But that's going to change tonight because I am going to enjoy a good one on the patio.
Fireside chat.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably somewhere around like 70-30, 70 going. So
I'm hoping. Because if you're not going, I'm not going.
Why?
I don't want to go without you, man.
Why? You got Trevor and the boys there.
I mean, Yeah, you know what? It'd be nice to get to know them, and that's true. Nick is gonna be there. That's for sure true. I do like. I'm surprised I haven't heard from him in a while.
Yeah, life getting in the way sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, that's all. Oh, yeah. We set the dates. October 11th. Beard and I have a game apparently after Houston because
Oh, nice.
apparently you told him that I played Titania.
I did. Well, we were and this is another thing. Hopefully, more people will join in on it on the Discord. So last weekend, I had a fire in the backyard that I was just sitting. I was like, it was a nice, cool night, so I decided to make a fire, and we just were talking for a while because people were jazzed about the Lucius crap, which good for y'all, but
Oh,
Lucius. Lucius is one of those keywords that I hear people talking about him now. I'm just like, wah, 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 wah. Like, okay, yeah, whatever. Okay, boring interacting stuff with Lucius. Okay, I got it. But we started talking about just random Neverborn masters, and Beard was one of the ones that they started talking about Titania. And I was like, man, if you've never played against Titania 1, play against Dixon, and he will just throw that range, whatever non-gun, beat the bricks off of your models, and it's just terrifying.
It is truly horrifying. That attack is. I still say it's one of the best in the game, if not top three.
Well, I told him when we were talking on the fireside chat, I was like, I think I've only beaten Dixon playing Titania like twice. Like most of the times, it's tough to beat that crew that you play.
I mean, thank you.
Well, dude, it's aggressive, but it's not only like the Dixon special, but also it's a ranged Dixon special, and that's like almost impossible to defend sometimes. And then you're kidnapping models, you're throwing them into the thorns. It's terrifying.
Oh, Hungry Land, my baby boy.
You're getting injured. You're dying. It's great. The only thing that's saving me from that list is just it's not GG kill, it's GG4. But you could probably still play her in like Achille raid the vault pool and it'd still be very good.
Yeah, I mean, I need to play the new what's his face Killjoy. I'm gonna do that. The next game that I play, I'm gonna play Titania 1. You got me curious.
Yeah, I think the new Killjoy. Yeah, he's got some legs. He actually does things now.
We'll see.
All right, but until next time, make sure that you guys are flipping cards and flipping tables, and we will see you all